Hello and welcome to this Pilates class with runners in mind. The class is suitable for everyone, not just runners, but please do not perform the exercises if you have osteoporosis, osteopenia or are pregnant. We'll begin by getting our feet a hip width apart. So you're going to find the bony bits on the front of your pelvis, point down and they should be in line with your second toes. We want our toes facing forwards and our feet in parallel. Gently rock backwards and forwards on your feet. You can shut your eyes here and just feel your range of motion. Keep the body nice and straight as you're rocking back and forwards. And then slowly bring that to the center. We want to feel the weight even over the tripod of the foot, so the heel and the 2 points at the front. Your toes should be free, so imagine you could play little piano with your toes. And you're going to lift your toes up, spread them wide and sink them into the mat. Lift your toes up, spread them wide, sinking them in. As we lift up our toes, we're activating the arches of the foot, and that's our natural spring taking our body weight. Thinking about the Pilates breathing now, inhaling through the nose, we're exhaling through the mouth. We're inhaling into the rib cage, not into our bellies. Coming into shoulder rolls. Inhale, your right arm coming up. Exhale, round and down. Feel the shoulder blades gliding down your back. Inhale up, opening through the chest. As you exhale, really imagine the muscles lengthening, the muscles becoming fluid like water. And then reverse the direction. Inhale up, exhale round the front and down. Just feel the ease of movement flowing with the breath. Feel the movement coming in the shoulder blades, keeping the body nice and still. And now you're going to inhale up and exhale, slowly gliding the shoulders straight down. Inhale up, exhale, imagine your shoulder blades coming down all the way to your pelvis. And inhale up, exhale, the muscles are lengthening. Imagine your shoulder muscles turning into water, so the shoulder blades gliding up the back and down the back. And then let your arms relax. Now lift your shoulder up and we're going to find the collarbone. So place your finger underneath your collarbone and then you're going to push round as you inhale and exhale back to the center. Inhale, pushing round, reaching the shoulder, exhaling back to the center, growing taller. Inhale and push the finger all along the collarbone. Keep your hips facing forwards as you're doing this and keeping length through the spine. And we're just releasing the fascia around the clavicle, trying to get our shoulders into alignment. Last one. Inhale through the nose, pushing round, push the finger in as deep as you can, and exhale coming back. Inhale, rising the arms up, and exhale, lowering down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as you inhale your arms up, and just notice how different your shoulders feel. Hopefully the right shoulder should feel a lot freer and a lot more mobile. And exhale, lower them down. And now we need to balance out. Begin with the shoulder circles, up and behind. Inhale up to the ear, exhale round the back and down. Really focus on the shoulder blades, feel what they're doing. They should be gliding down your back. Keep your neck nice and long as you inhale your arms up and reverse direction. Inhale up, exhale round in front. Inhale round the back, exhale round the front. Make sure your pelvis is staying in neutral so you can imagine your tailbones hanging nice and long, isolating the movement in the shoulder. Now inhale the arm directly up, exhale slowly gliding down. Feel your muscles softening with each movement. As you exhale, imagine the muscles lengthening down the back. Inhale up, exhale down, and imagine your muscles lengthening and softening. Inhale up to the ear. Exhale, shoulder blade down to the pelvis. Inhale, keep the back of the neck nice and long. Exhale, muscles turning into water. Now lift the shoulder up, find the clavicle, the collarbone, place your fingers underneath that, and inhale, push round, following the line of the collarbone. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, push. Exhale, back round. Inhale, really push deep, push that shoulder back. Exhale, grow tall back to center. Inhale as you push and exhale, coming back. Inhale, imagine pushing all the tension away from your shoulder And now feel your arms, they should feel the same. So inhale the arms up, exhale the arms down. Inhale, arms coming up, shoulder blades melting down the back. Make a gun shape with your fingers, and you're going to place that under the chin with the index finger touching the chin and the thumbs touching the chest. Inhale to prepare, exhale, rotating round to your right, hips are staying facing forwards, exhale round, so we're rotating through the thoracic spine, and then inhale back to center, growing taller. Exhale, keep the shoulders square, keep the head facing forwards, so we're only moving through the rib cage. And exhale into the rotation. As you inhale, feel yourself growing taller. Imagine your spine as a corkscrew as you're coming round. You're growing taller each time you come back to center. Exhale a little bit further round. Inhale, coming back. Release the arms down. Lift your left arm up, and then exhale, bending over. Inhale, exhale a little bit more over. Inhale, exhale a little bit more over, keeping the weight in the left foot. Right arm up. Inhaling and exhaling over. Exhale, feel your rib cage softening. Don't collapse in the side. Exhale a little bit further. And then coming back. Exhale the left arm over. And then swapping over. Keep the right foot planted. Keeping the hips over the feet. Place your hands on top of one another, and you're going to place them behind your neck. And then just squeeze the neck. Just imagine you're squeezing a sponge, squeezing all that water out, and then as you release, fresh water's coming in. And you can combine the squeeze with a head nod. So you're going to push up as you squeeze, giving yourself a neck stretch at the same time. And again, we're just working with the fascia, helping us get our neck and our head in the correct alignment. And it should be a lovely release. Inhaling the fresh water in and exhaling the old water out. Inhale back up, and we want our feet a hip width apart. We're just bending at the knees, so we've got flexion in the hips, the knees and the ankles, and you're keeping your back stacked over your pelvis. So imagine you're gliding down a wall. We inhale down, we exhale up, pushing through the feet. Feel the tripod of the feet spreading wide as you come down and closing back up as you exhale upwards. If you've got a squidgy mat, then come off the mat, bending down as before, and then shift the weight over to your right leg, lift your left knee up, exhale, rotate round, inhale the leg back, and then coming back onto two legs. Bending hips, knees and ankles, shift the weight over, float the right knee up, exhale as you release round, keeping the hips facing forwards throughout, and then standing tall. Bending down, keep your standing leg planted still, so we're trying to keep that as steady as possible, working on balance as well as mobility here. Squatting down, weight in the left leg, lift the right knee up, and exhale round. And then inhale back to center, stand up tall, come back to your mat. Get your feet wider than shoulder width apart, probably about a mat's width apart, and you want your feet turned outwards. We're going to be keeping the back nice and straight again, and the knees are coming over our feet, exhaling up. So inhale down, exhale, push through the heels, coming up. So we want to keep the weight in the heels, inhale down, exhale, grow tall. Gently lengthening and strengthening the inner thigh muscles and the bum muscles. Now you're going to stay down, lift your left heel, lift your right heel. Keep your hips steady, left heel and right heel, not rotating in the hips, and then push up through the heels. Coming down again, and now 20 little pulses. So keep pulsing, keep breathing. So it's inhale and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keeping the back nice and straight, so you're in between two panes of glass, and then coming up. Well done. Give your legs a shake. Come to the back of your mat. Check back in with your alignment, standing nice and tall. Knees are soft, so we're not overextending at the knee. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, nod your chin to your chest, peel down your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. So through the exhalation, hollow and scoop the abdominals up, and then you're going to bend your knees at the end. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, coming back up, stacking the spine bone by bone until you're finally up, shoulders away from the ears, standing nice and tall. Inhale to prepare, exhale, rolling down. Imagine you're a piece of wallpaper peeling off the wall, and then at the bottom just let your arms hang. Let all the tension out. You can nod your head so there's no tension in the neck. Inhale and then exhale, peeling back up, bone by bone. Really feel your spine and any aches or pains. Feel where's supple, feel where's stiff. Inhale, exhale, coming up and over. So you can imagine you're coming over a fence and you don't want your belly touching that fence. So really draw the abdominals in like you're putting on a tight pair of jeans. We're really lengthening the spine. Inhale and exhale, coming back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking everything back up into alignment. Inhale through the nose and then exhale, nodding your chin down and then feeling each vertebrae peeling off the imaginary wall behind you. Feel the weight of the head of the arms bringing you down. Bend your knees and then walk your hands forward. We're coming into 4-point kneeling, where the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, the knees are directly underneath the hips. Take all the weight in the heel of your hands, so your fingers should be nice and free. Push down with your little finger just to create a connection in the shoulders. You're going to inhale to prepare, you're going to exhale, tilt your pelvis, and then arching through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, and really breathe all that air out, looking in between the knees. Inhale, reverse the direction, starting with the lower back, coming up, and the head comes up last. Exhale, tilting the pelvis, working through the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and cervical spine right at the end. And inhale, coming back. Cat stretch and cow stretch. Really squeeze the belly button as close to your spine as you can, blowing all the air out. Inhale, coming back to straight. Make sure your elbows are pointing outwards and there's a slight bend in the elbows. Inhale, let your chest sink through your shoulders. Exhale, push through the heels of the hands, so the only movement's coming in the shoulder girdle. Inhale, sinking down. Exhale, pushing away, keeping the back nice and long. We're looking down at the mat, the back of the neck's long. Find the middle of those two extremes, and that's our shoulder connection, where we want to keep our shoulders. Tuck your toes under and then push the heels away so the knees come off the mat a couple of centimeters. And really engage the core now. So this is a 4-point kneeling plank. So just keep everything engaged, keep the shoulders connected, back of the neck long, keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep pushing in the little fingers, keep that shoulder connection. Make sure your elbows aren't locked out, so there's still a light bend. Your eyes are looking down at the mat, keeping the connection in the neck, the shoulder connection going. Keep pushing the heels back, and that's going to keep the knees there. And really focus on engaging the abdominals. Keep breathing, so the breath is going to keep you going here. Focus all your attention on the breath, not on any pain. Don't lose any form, so keep concentrating on the shape. A couple more seconds. Keep breathing, and we're done. Well done. Let the knees come down and then sit back onto your heels into child's pose. If you can't reach your heels, spread the knees a little bit wider and then breathe into the lower back. Have a little rest and then bring yourself up to seated. So we've got our legs bent in front of us, our feet are a hip width apart, knees are in line with the hips, and we're sitting up nice and tall. Extend your arms in front of you, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, hollow and scoop the stomach, coming back, creating a C curve, and then inhale here, exhale, coming up straight. Inhale to prepare, exhale, coming down a little bit lower this time, rolling off the sit bones. So imagine you're being pushed in the stomach, and that's going to create the C curve. And then inhale, exhale, come back up. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. A little bit further, and then inhale, exhale, coming back up, sit back tall on the sit bones. Inhaling through the nose to prepare, keep the shoulders away from the ears, coming down, then open with the right arm, turning with it, exhale, bring it back, open with the left arm, turning with it, exhale back, and one more each side, nice flowing motion, last one, and exhale round. Inhale to prepare, exhale, roll forward, then sit up tall. Well done. Coming onto our back, so our feet are hip width apart. Our knees are in line, back of the body's nice and long, and just feel yourself sinking into the mat. So you're on a hot tropical sandy beach, and you're just melting into that mat. Exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you. Inhale, tilt your pelvis away. So as we exhale, the lower back's flattening to the mat, and then as we inhale, we're creating an arch in the lumbar spine. Imagine a bowl of water on your belly, and you're just tilting the water towards you and tilting the water away. And now we're going to draw some circles with our pelvis. So your belly button's 12 o'clock, pelvis is 6 o'clock, your left hip is 3 o'clock, and your right hip is 9 o'clock. And we're going to be hitting all those points. The only movement should be coming in the pelvis and in the abdominals. A few more of these, trying to keep the knees nice and steady, and then reverse the direction. So we're just moving in the pelvis, rotating it round to 9 o'clock, to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and back to 12 o'clock. Now find the center of all those extremes. So we want our pelvis nice and level. Make sure your knees are still in line with your hips. Inhale to prepare, exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you, then push through the heels, coming up into a shoulder bridge in a nice straight line. Inhale here, and then exhale, rolling down bone by bone. Inhale to prepare, exhale, push through your feet, coming up vertebrae by vertebrae, knees tracking over your feet. Inhale, exhale, coming down bone by bone. Inhale to prepare, exhale, push through the feet. Imagine you're peeling a string of pearls off the mat. And then if you want to add on the next one, inhale your right knee out and exhale it back to center. Inhale the left knee out, exhale back to center. Inhale the right knee out, don't let the hips drop, and the left knee, keeping the height. Inhale to prepare, exhale, coming back down bone by bone. If you want to add on again, bring your arms to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up, exhale, let them sink into the mat. We're just going to find our shoulder placement. Really find the shoulders in the mat, and then you're going to do the same again. So inhale to prepare, exhale, pushing through the feet bone by bone, getting a nice length. Inhale the knee out and exhale, knee back to center. Inhale left knee out, exhale back to center. Keep the height, either stay at this level or as the right knee comes out, the left arm is going overhead, and then exhale back. Inhale left leg, right arm, and exhale back, alternating arms and legs, maintaining the height, and then exhale, rolling down bone by bone, keeping the jaw nice and relaxed. One last one. Coming up, really squeezing in the bum muscle. Use those abdominal muscles to keep the rib cage connected. The right knee goes out and the left arm goes out to the side. Inhale out to the side, exhale, squeeze back in. Keep squeezing at the bum, keep the hips high, keeping planted in the big toes. Draw the arm back with the chest muscles. Inhale and then exhale, lower down, hug your knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side if that feels nice. You can just squeeze your legs into your body. Just breathe deeply. Enjoy the stretch in your back and in your bum. Bringing your feet back onto the mat. Hip width apart, check in with your knees, they're still a hip width apart. Interlace your hands together and you're going to place them behind your head, the base of the skull, the thumbs pointing down your neck. Bring your elbows into peripheral vision as your shoulder blades glide down your back. And then inhale to prepare, exhale, head comes off the mat, coming forward. Imagine you're coming over a beach ball, keeping the pelvis nice and steady. So inhale to prepare, exhale, squeeze the abdominals. Inhale at the top, exhale, rolling back down, bone by bone, just warming the abdominals up. Exhaling as you're coming forward, smiling with your collarbones, keeping them wide. Inhaling at the top and then exhaling, coming back down with control. Last one, inhaling to prepare, exhaling, coming up, creating that C shape with the spine. Inhaling at the top, exhaling, lowering yourself. Feeling the vertebrae hit the mat one by one. Make sure your pelvis is still nice and level. Extend your right leg long. Lift your left leg up. We want the leg as straight as possible. If you have tight hamstrings, you can have a little bend in the knee. And we're going to draw circles with our feet, keeping the pelvis as stable as possible. So it's inhale for half a circle, exhale for half a circle. Really drawing the abdominals, keep that pelvis steady, and then reverse direction. The leg coming over the center line, down and round. The lower you have your leg, the more challenging the exercise. Feel the thigh bone stirring in the hip socket. Lower your left leg, make sure your pelvis is still nice and level, and we bring the right leg up. So draw it over the middle line and coming down and round. Nice flowing, controlled motion. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep the upper body nice and relaxed. Sink your left leg into the mat and reverse the direction now. We're working on pelvic stability, which is really important for runners here. Keeping it a nice controlled circle with a flowing motion and using the breath to help us draw the abdominals to keep the pelvis stable. Now bring your legs into what's called tabletop. So one leg at a time into 90 degrees. Engage the abdominals, keep the pelvis level. Place your hands under your head. You're going to roll forward like before. Extend your right leg long, bringing your left leg towards you. Grab a hold of that, and then 2 pulses on the exhale. Pulse, pulse, and then inhale, pulse, pulse, exhale. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Keep the legs long. Keep the pelvis as stable as you can. So on each breath, try and bring the leg closer towards you. Keep the elbows wide, the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the back of the neck long, and then hug your knees into your chest. Have a little rock to massage your spine. Now place your arms out at about 30 degrees, palms down, or you can have your palms up if you feel that places the shoulders into the mat better. Feet and knees are together, and inhale, knees come out to the right, exhale back to center. Inhale out to the left, and then exhale back to center. Really use the abdominals and the obliques to draw those legs back to the center. And make sure there's no weight coming off from the shoulders. Keep the shoulders firmly in the mat at all times. If you feel your shoulder blades lifting, you've gone too far with the movement. Exhaling the legs back with control. If you want to add to this, you can bring your legs into tabletop, one leg at a time. Keep the legs together, and then again inhale out to the side, exhale, draw them back to the center. Keep those shoulders down in the mat, keep the back of the neck long, exhale back to the center. Inhale, keeping the shoulders planted in the mat, and exhale. Keep drawing the abdominals. Inhale out to the side, make sure the shoulders are staying down. Keep the jaw relaxed, so we don't want any tension in the jaw. And then if you want to add on, as you go to the right, you're going to kick your left leg out at the top. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left, exhale right leg kick. Inhale that back, exhale back to the center. Inhale to the right, exhale left leg, inhale, and then exhale back to the center. And hug your knees in. So breathing out as you bring your knees in towards you. Coming onto our side. So line yourself up with the back of the mat. Our feet are level with our bum, our knees are at 90 degrees, our ear lies on our shoulder, and then you've got your left arm down for support. Make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other, top shoulder away from the ear, and the back of the neck nice and long. Inhale to prepare, exhale, open at the hip so the knee comes up, inhale the knee down, exhale, open, keep the pelvis still, inhale, close. Exhale, open, inhale, keep the top shoulder away from the ears, keep the hips stacked on top of each other, keep the feet together. You should be feeling this just behind the hip bone, squeezing the bum muscle. Inhale down, and now we keep our knees together, lifting the foot up as we exhale. Inhale down, exhale, the foot comes up, keep that pelvis still. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhaling up, keeping the abdominals engaged. Inhaling down with control. Then you're going to exhale the knee coming up, and you're going to keep the knee up and exhale the foot up. Inhale the foot down, exhale the foot up. Keep the knee at the same height throughout the motion. Keep the hips nice and steady, flowing with the breath now. Really squeeze the bum muscle, and then coming over to your other side to work there. So take some time to line yourself up. Make sure your feet are level with your bum, everything's stacked, so your shoulders are stacked on top of each other and your hips are stacked on top of each other. Your back's nice and straight, keeping its natural curve, keeping the back of the neck long. Got your hand down for support. Inhale to prepare, and we exhale, the knee floats up. Keep the feet together, inhale down. So you should be feeling this in the bum just by the hip, in your gluteus medius. 5 of these. Exhale, squeezing the bum to lift the knee. Inhale, lowering the leg with control. Exhaling, rising the knee up with control. Exhale, squeeze the bum muscle to rotate the hip, and then keeping the knees together. Exhale the foot up, inhale the foot down. Keeping the pelvis steady, no rotating in the pelvis. Keep the top shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, lowering it with control. Exhaling, keeping the abdominals engaged. Inhaling the foot down, and exhaling the foot back up. Now you bring your knee up, and we're going to keep it at that height, and exhale the foot up. Inhale the foot down, exhale the foot up. Make sure the knee's staying at the same height. We're trying to rotate in the hip. So feel your thigh bone turning in the hip socket, nice and fluid, so we don't want any tension in the hip. You can imagine your thigh bone coming away from your hip socket. And then we're coming onto our front. We're going to make a triangle with our hands. Place your forehead in the triangle. Feel the weight of your body in the mat. And then inhale, and then exhale, extending up through the neck, coming into a little extension. Keep the eyes on the mat. Inhale at the top, exhale, come down. Inhale to prepare, exhale, keep the body relaxed, and then inhale and exhale, coming down. So we're not arching the lower back here, shouldn't feel it in there. We're working through the middle of the back. If you do feel it in the lower back, engage your abdominals to protect the spine. Inhaling to prepare and exhaling, really thinking about the length and the shoulder blades gliding down the back. Inhale at the top, exhale, lowering with control. Now bring your right foot towards your bum and pull that in with your right arm, and we're stretching the quads now. So inhale as much air as you can, and then exhale all the air out. Really empty the lungs, getting rid of all the stale air, but we don't want any tilting in the pelvis. Take a few breaths and just enjoy the feeling of the stretch along the thigh. We're trying to keep your pelvis flat, so you might need to tilt your pelvis towards you a little bit, and that's going to lengthen across the quad and across the hip. If you want, on an exhale, you can bring the foot closer towards you, surrendering yourself to the mat, fully relaxed. And change over legs. So bring the left leg towards you, grab a hold of your foot, and then squeeze that towards your bum. If you can't reach your foot, you can use a strap for this. And just try and keep the rest of the body nice and relaxed. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can breathe into the abdominals now, making sure there's absolutely no tension in the lower back, and inhaling as much air into the lungs as possible. So you can count for 4 seconds as you're breathing in, and then count for 4 seconds as you're breathing out. And then release your foot. Come back, sit on your heels into child's pose. You can push into your hands to push yourself further back, and really focus the breath into the lumbar spine. And then we're coming onto our back. So your legs are bent. Place your left ankle on your right knee. This might be enough of a stretch as it is, or if you want to deepen the stretch, place your hands around your right leg and then pull that towards you, but make sure your bum's not coming off the mat. So we don't want any arching in the spine here. In fact, to deepen the stretch, you can try and tilt your pelvis away. So you should be feeling this stretch around the bum and around the hip. So again, you can inhale for 4 seconds, and then you can exhale for 4 seconds. Focus your mind on the counting, and then feel your muscles easing as they stretch. You can imagine the muscles are made of water, and they're just melting away, and then change sides. So make sure your pelvis is level. We want our spine all along the mat. Inhaling deeply, then exhale. You can try and bring the leg a little bit closer if you want, keeping the pelvis on the mat. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your jaw or in your shoulders. Make sure it's your ankle and not your foot on the leg. We're not twisting our ankle here. Keep the pelvis nice and heavy on the mat. You can try and picture the muscles lengthening as you're stretching them. And this is going to help the stretch. Make sure your lower back's not coming off the mat. And again, tilt your pelvis away from you and that'll deepen the stretch. Using the breath, so the breath's your friend here. That's going to relieve any tension in the body. We're coming up into cross-legged, but we want our thigh bones in a straight line. We want to get our knees in line with the hips if possible, and our shin bones are perpendicular, so we're creating a square shape with the legs. Sit tall in the sit bones, come forwards with a straight back, and then you can bend over. And you should feel a nice stretch in the outer hip. Deep breaths here. Really focus your attention of the breath where you're feeling the stretch. Inhaling all the air in, and then exhaling all the air out. If you feel an easing in the stretch, you can then come further forwards, or you can stay where you are. Just feel your own body, focus all the attention there. Trying to find the point where the pain is enough, but you don't want to come out of the stretch. Staying at that point. And then you can use the pain to just bring yourself into your body. So really focus all your attention in that area. And then swapping legs around. So take some time to line yourself up. Get the shins nice and straight and the knees in line with the hips. And then hinging forwards. And then round the spine over. Inhaling deeply and exhaling all the air out, so we don't want any stale air left in our lungs. You're not thinking about anything else in your day right now, you're just thinking about your body. Deepen the pose if you feel you can, but this is quite a deep stretch as it is. Trying to visualize your muscles turning into water and lengthening and softening. Keep focusing the attention where you're feeling the stretch. So relaxing your jaw, relaxing your tongue, relaxing your neck, relaxing your spine. We're trying to really relax in the hips. Nice flowing breath, equal inhale and equal exhale. So we're stretching the hip and we're also stretching the lumbar spine. So we've got a nice back bend as well as extending the hips. And then bringing yourself up. We're going to come onto our knees. If you've got a thin mat, then you can fold it in half. So get your knees as wide as you can. Your feet are flexed and in line with your knees. You're going to come forwards and then just sink into your hips until you feel a deep stretch in the groin. And just keep breathing. This one is absolute agony, but so good for you. We're really opening the hips here, which are a route for so many nerves and so many energy channels. It's a really important area to keep nice and supple for runners. We also store a lot of emotions in our hip flexors, so you never know, this might be an emotional release for you as well. So again, just focus all your breath and all your attention into the groin, and that should help to relieve the stretch. So it might be in a few breaths, you might be able to go back a little bit further. Focus on the breath so you can count your breath in and then count your breath out, inhaling into your groin and exhaling all the tension away. And then to come out the pose, you're going to lean forwards and then bring your knees together and then coming up onto our feet. So you're going to sit your bum on your feet and then just flex the toes. So just bringing back some toe mobility and then push through your heels, so straightening the legs. And then coming into a hamstring stretch. So just feel the stretch in the hamstrings. You can cross your arms and that'll deepen the stretch as well, adding a bit more weight. And then breathe the air into the hamstrings to relieve the stretch. Keep breathing. Imagine the muscles lengthening and the hips drawing away from the thigh bones. The hamstrings softening and softening. And then bend your knees. Stack yourself back up, bone by bone, on the exhale. Coming back up, standing nice and tall. And then inhale here, exhale. We're going to roll through the spine again. So coming down bone by bone. Really lengthen the spine. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, coming up. Let the shoulders glide down your back, and then just release the body. So just shake everything out. Get everything nice and loose. Shake away all the tension. We've got our feet are hip width apart. We're standing tall from the crown of the head. And thank you for watching. I'd love to hear any comments you have about this class.